what I would like you to do is at your table, see if you can come up with what does it mean to be complementary, supplementary, adjacent, linear pair, vertical angles. Just talk, don't write anything down. See if you can come up with those words. Ready, set, go.
That's adjacent.
Okay. I'm going to draw your attention back here. Sydney, who sits by you? Thank you. Okay. Who can tell me what complementary angles mean? Hayden. Okay. Two angles with a sum of 90 degrees. Okay? That is something that you've known since like elementary school.
I don't know any of that. I should have learned any of this.
I don't either.
And we didn't learn any of that.
Half the things that we learned that was hard for me, which was probably this, I forget.
Okay. So, they can be next to each other. They can be not next to each other. So if I say 20 degrees, Austin, what would be a complementary angle to 20 degrees?
70 degrees?
70 degrees because they add up to be 90. Okay? Maybe I give you two expressions. This angle is 2x plus 5, and this angle is 3x plus 15. If they're complementary, we know their measures need to add up to be 90. Okay? Austin, what about supplementary?
Angles that with a sum of 180.
Yep. They can be next to each other or not next to each other, but we know that the two angles will add to equal 180. So if I say 30 degrees, what's its supplementary angle? 150. Okay. Now, these next ones I'm more interested about what you talked about. Adjacent. Who can tell me what adjacent means? Okay, Evie, do you have a better explanation now?
Yeah. So they have like a common side and a common vertex.
So visually, what does that look like?
Like it looks like there's a line right here, and a line there, and there's an action that goes like up. You know?
Okay. Whose room is adjacent to mine?
No.
Miss Jumps. And the workroom, I guess. There's like a hallway right there. Okay. Miss Jumps' room is adjacent to mine because
They share the same. They share a line.
we share a wall, right? Okay. So adjacent angles are angles that share a side. Okay. I like to say they're next door neighbors, right? Because they share that side. Okay, I'm going to call this angle 1 and angle 2. So when you draw that picture, it's just going to be easier to name. Okay? We can say that angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent because they share VB as a side. Okay? They're next door neighbors. They share a side. Okay? Just like me and Miss Jumps share a wall, we are adjacent. Angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent. All right, linear pair. Who thinks they know what that is? And describe that one. Aaron, you think you can? Ooh, so the not connected side, two angles where the not connected side is aligned. So do you see how it's linear? When you see the word linear, what do you think of? Line, okay? So Aaron is trying to describe this picture, okay? A linear pair is a set of adjacent angles that are also supplementary. So they're adjacent and supplementary because visually they make a line. Linear pair, two angles that make a line. All right. Vertical angles. This is one that I'm not sure you've ever heard of before. Hayden thinks he has?
Angles that share the same vertex.
Okay. These share the same vertex, but they're not vertical.
Angles that
Austin?
are opposite. Angles that are like 180 degrees or something.
That would be linear pair. Jack?
Angles that are like, they're on top of each other. And they will share the same vertex. And they
Okay.
have the same amount of degree.
Okay, so they're congruent. So in this picture, angles 1 and 2 are vertical angles. Okay. So we're going to describe this as angles whose sides are opposite rays. And like Jack Riley said, they are going to have the same measure. I like to look for the big X. Okay? We have two sets of opposite rays that are creating those vertical angles. Okay? So angles 1 and angles 2, those are vertical. They have the same measure. If one is 30 degrees, then the other one is 30 degrees. Okay? Which also means angles 3 and 4 are vertical, right? Same things happen in there. Do you agree? Yeah? So angles 3 and 4 are congruent because they are vertical angles. Vertical angles are going to be a very important part of our lives over the next year. Okay? Gonna pop up a lot. Okay. So let's talk about complementary real quick. Now, we know that two angles that add up to 90 degrees, right? They don't have to be adjacent, but when they are, what are we looking for? That box, okay? If I have a right angle It has to be either said, hey, this angle's a right angle, or there needs to be that box. Okay? So if we have a picture that looks like this, how do we find the measure of angle 2? Oh, wait, I need to give you more than that. Okay, now let's talk about it. What do we do? Hayden?
You put 3x plus 12 plus 6x minus 3, and you set it equal to 90 degrees.
See, right? Okay. So I have 9x, right?
Yeah.
Plus 9 equals 90. Huh? Nice job, Miss Holman. I totally made this up on the spot. It actually worked out to not be a fraction. 9x equals what?
90 degrees.
So x equals 9. Now, let's talk about what the measure of angle 1 and the measure of angle 2 actually equal. So, do you have a question or do you have an answer? Okay, so if x equals 9, then we can come back here and say the measure of angle 1 is 3x plus 12, which is what? Avery? How much is it? You got it. Okay. Now, we can do one of two things. We can plug 9 in, or we can just say, oh, I know that 51 degrees should be left over, right? Okay, is 6 times 9 minus 3 51? So my picture doesn't quite match the algebra, but that's okay. Sometimes that happens. Okay. Okay, so go ahead and turn the page. Okay. We are really going to have to get used to this word adjacent. Okay. Adjacent, common vertex, common side. Non-adjacent, hey, they're not next to each other. So a non-adjacent angle, I mean, they could share a vertex. Like angles 1 and 2 are non-adjacent. Yeah, they share the same vertex, but they don't share the same side. Okay, they don't share a side together. Okay. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to come down here. I'm going to have you draw a picture. Are you ready? Draw a straight line. And then draw this straight line. And then draw that one. Are we okay? Okay, so without writing anything down, I want you to talk at your table about all the things that you know about the measure of certain angles. Like, are there certain angles that are the same measure? Why? Are there certain angles that add up to be something? Why? Talk about all the conclusions you can draw from this picture. Ready, set, go.
Angle 4
And then one and two together, that would
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, no, but it doesn't have to have the circle thing that matches one.
So 1 and 2, like if I get rid of this, there are vertical angles. Do you see that?
But they're two different.
Like if you squish,
The 4 happens to be
because it's 1 plus 2 together. Do you see what I'm talking about? Like if you add, okay, look at the board. Or look at this. Okay, if I add 1 and 2 together, it equals 4 because of the opposite rays. Like this would be congruent to this.
Okay. Oh, those are the ones that add up.
And you almost hit your neighbor with a pencil. Was it worth it? Do I need to take away your rubber band? Okay. All right. All right, I want to hear some conjectures. Cole, give me something.
3 and 5 are vertical.
Okay, so angle 3 is congruent to angle 5 because they're vertical. Love it. Ty.
1 and 2 is adjacent.
Okay, angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent. Love it. Okay, Hayden.
Angle 2 plus angle 1 equals angle 4.
Okay, the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals the measure of angle 4. How do you feel about that? Because they're vertical, right? Okay, Avery.
Angle 5 and angle 4 are supplementary.
Ah, angle 4 and angle 5 are supplementary. Angle 3 and angle 4 are supplementary. Nice.
Like those lines also in here.
Ooh, yes. So, angles 4 and 5, angles 3 and 4, yes, they're supplementary. They are also a linear pair. Because they make a line. They make a line. Hayden?
Isn't every single supplementary angle in your pairs? Oh, they also have to be adjacent as well.
Are those supplementary?
Yeah.
Are they a linear pair? Okay. Hayden?
Angle 5, measure of angle 5 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180 degrees.
I disagree with that.
Angle 5
Plus,
are supplementary.
you would have to do 1 and 2 and 5. All 3 of those add up to 180. Okay? All right. Go ahead and grab your folders. We're towards the end. So, okay, what page is that? Page before it. Go to 13. Just kidding. Don't go to 13. Interesting. Okay, forgot I didn't put that in there. Okay. So before I give you your assignment in your folder, everybody just look up here. Don't say anything, just think it in your head. Ready? BFD and CFD, CFD are adjacent angles. I want you to think true or false. True or false. True or false. Ready, set, everybody say it. True or false? Say it. So, we might need to be more specific. They need to share an interior side. It's not on a page. I am sorry. Okay? They share a side, but it's not interior, so they're not adjacent. If I wanted adjacent, I would have to say this angle and this angle. You see that? See the difference?
What's an exterior?
So an interior side is like inside the angle. Like this is our interior side. Okay. Now, number 2, AFB and EFD are vertical angles. Think to yourself. Think to yourself. Think to yourself. We're on 3. We're going to yell true or false. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
True. False. True. False. True.
This is not a straight angle.
It's E and C that are this straight.
Right. If we make it EC, now what I have highlighted are vertical angles. Do you see the difference?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, last one. AFE and EFD are complementary. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. On 3, say your answer. 1, 2, 3.
False.
What's up?
There was a mishap with a red pen. Can I go with my hands?
Yes, you can. Okay, instead, what should we call this? Supplementary. Okay, to finish off our chapter daily homework, pages 14 and 15 are the 1.6 worksheet. Let's get started.
You know how much?
Yeah.